Day 4 of Ravens training camp just ended. We had a big day from Tez Walker. Jaire Alexander continues to impress. Jalen Armour-Davis. We'll talk about everything that happened at practice, who was there. We also hear from Todd Monken, Chris Horton, and Zach Orr. All that and more in today's episode of the Flock Rundown.
Ravens Flock. The Flock Rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Day 4 of Ravens training camp practice just ended. Before we get into the practice notes, just want to say thank you guys for 11,000 subscribers. That's insane, the growth that we're having this year. Shout out to the members. Samuel Moore, new member. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you guys more than you know. Appreciate all of you guys, even if you're just watching the videos, liking the video. It means the world, man. It absolutely means the world. I love talking about our favorite team together and just building this community, and it's been a cool ride, man. We're just getting started, so thank you guys. Let's dive into today's training camp practice. We'll start with who was there, and it's the same absences as yesterday. So Emory Jones Jr. on the non-football injury list, Darius Washington on PUP, Jake Hummel still dealing with the hand injury, Keith Kirkwood was out again. I still don't know what's going on with that exactly. If you do, comment below. Awuzie has been limited the last 2 days. He was seen running off to the side. So Harbaugh did comment on that yesterday and said he's fine and it's not a big deal, but he has been limited the last 2 practices. And then rookie corner Bilal Kone left practice early after going down in team drills. It was a standout day from Tez Walker, who's been having a great offseason altogether, but really good practice today. Had a nice sliding grab of a Cooper Rush pass and then a win downfield versus Nate Wiggins for a 30-ish yard gain on a Lamar Jackson bomb. Also had a really nice rep in one-on-ones against Jaire Alexander. Had a nice back shoulder grab. Tez Walker's been having a great offseason altogether, just continues to stack solid practices, and I think is really earning some time. You know, I know we got the 3-headed monster, you know, with Zay and Bateman and DeAndre Hopkins, but I think Tez is probably, you know, going to be in that rotation of that top 4 or 5. Obviously, you could throw Tylan Wallace in there as well, but I really think Tez Walker is earning more reps and is going to be involved a lot more in the offense than he was last year, and he brings something unique to the offense. You know, he can really stretch the field. Not that we don't have speed with some other guys, but I really think Tez Walker can really open up the field for a lot of other guys, even if he's not getting the ball actively. Just his speed is a threat out there, but awesome to hear him making a lot of plays, especially on a guy like Jaire Alexander. And speaking of Jaire, the Ravens quarterbacks targeted him 3 times early, all incompletions. Jaire's been making plays practice after practice. His presence is already felt. He's also bringing a ton of energy to the defense, so great addition. I'm so glad Jaire Alexander is a Baltimore Raven. It's going to be a very fun year. His celebration, I'm getting a lot of comments, especially on TikTok, from Packers fans that are saying that it's a sword celebration, not a seatbelt celebration, and that Jaire has told the Packers media multiple times, and that's why all the fans and the Packers media know that. So I think it's a sword celebration. He's like tucking a sword away. He's putting the sword back on. You know, it also obviously does look like the seatbelt celebration, but I did just want to clarify that because I read Jeff Zrebiec's tweet of him saying that it was a seatbelt celebration, and then a bunch of Packers fans are like reaching out and they're like, it's a sword celebration. It's a sword celebration. So just wanted to clarify that. If anybody could ask Jaire directly and get clarity on that. I think it is a sword celebration though, but either way, man, awesome to see him out there celebrating. Awesome to see that energy. Zach Orr also spoke on Jaire's presence and energy that he brings to the team.
Man, he brings a lot. I mean, he brings first and foremost energy, confidence, hard work, and then playmaking ability. I mean, we go against our offense every day, and they challenge our corners, especially on the outside, and he's done a great job, man. So we've been happy, pleased with him. He's a great student of the game. I'm pleased with how fast he's picked up the system, and the vets and his teammates are helping him out. But he brings a lot, man. He can still play at a top level. He's everything that we thought he would be and even more, man. He's a great dude. Glad that we got him.
Getting back to some practice notes, Jalen Armour-Davis picked off Cooper Rush on a ball that Sanusi Kane deflected. Been hearing a lot of good things about Jalen Armour-Davis this offseason as well, and they've been moving him around. I know he played some safety as well, so he's a versatile defender, knows the defense well. I would actually say with longer beam struggling a little bit, with Kone getting banged up, with Awuzie being limited right now, which I know is not a big deal. I think Awuzie is definitely going to make the active roster, but, you know, competing for that 6 corner spot like we've talked about multiple times, I think Jalen Armour-Davis would probably have that lead of making the active roster. I mean, he's made the active roster in years prior. He's just struggled with injuries, but with the young guys also struggling a little bit, I would assume that Jalen Armour-Davis has a lead. It's still super early. We got the rest of camp. We got the preseason. A lot of stuff's going to unfold, but as we sit here today, in day 4, I think Jalen Armour-Davis probably has the lead of that 6th corner spot. So you would have Jaire Alexander, Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, TJ Tampa, Awuzie, and Jalen Armour-Davis. I think that might be where it's at right now. We'll see how the Kone injury is, if Longer Beam can get some confidence and start playing a lot more consistently. We'll see how that battle unfolds the rest of the offseason, but been hearing a lot of good things about Jalen Armour-Davis. We got some one-on-one notes. Kyle Hamilton got pass breakups versus Isaiah Likely on a deep throw and Mark Andrews on a short throw. Jaire Alexander did get the best of Tez Walker as well, but then Walker came back and got one on him. Marlon Humphrey got the best of Rashad Bateman, but Bateman also had a sliding catch, so guys just going back and forth against each other. Wish I could watch these one-on-ones, man. We did get a little update on LaJohntay Wester from Cordell. I love these recaps Cordell's been doing after practice, by the way. Very detailed and informative, and he's also going to be coming on the show next week, so excited for that. We'll go live together, but he was talking about LaJohntay Wester today. Haven't heard a ton about LaJohntay Wester since Ravens rookie minicamp, really. But he was saying that he's not getting a lot of important reps, which is understandable, on offense, not as punt returner. I think he's still in the running for punt returner for sure, but he's not getting a lot of meaningful reps on offense. And then he's had a few drops the last 2 practices, so he's not really making the most of those reps right now.
LaJohntay Wester is a guy that I was pretty excited to see this year. He was drafted to mainly be a special teams guy, at least right away. But I've seen flashes from him in college plenty of times of him making plays at receiver. But just haven't really been able to see that from him so far in camp. He had a drop today, had a drop yesterday as well. And you don't want those to start adding up. So because you're not getting a lot of opportunities at that position right now, speaking on LaJohntay Wester. So when he does get in, I think it is important for him to make the most of his opportunities.
We also heard from Chris Horton on the punt return competition, and he said that it's wide open. He said that they're still looking for the guy who's going to make the best decisions and hold on to the ball. So this might not be a slam dunk that LaJohntay Wester is the Ravens starting punt returner. I think he has the most home run hitting ability, but is he the guy that the coaches trust the most? I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it plays out. It's still super early, but here's Chris Horton talking about that.
Returner was a point of contention last year. Do you view that as simply a wide open competition at this point?
Definitely. For us, I talk about this every year. Punt returning is about being efficient and being efficient in a sense of, like, if we in the game and we catch every ball, that's a plus for us, and we get no returns. Well, we're gonna figure out, how to make that better. Maybe the punt was short, right, and we fair caught the ball and we had to run up for it. Well, that's efficiency for me. And how are we catching the ball? What I'm looking for, and we as coaches and as a staff are looking for guys that are not going to put the ball on the ground, even in practice. And that's going to be the guy that's going to win the job when he goes out there and he's making yards and he's catching the ball and fielding the ball, making great decisions. That's what we're looking for.
Chris Horton also spoke on kick returning, and it seems like Keaton Mitchell is definitely going to be back there. He seemed very fired up about it. But when Todd Monken spoke about Keaton Mitchell on offense, he was saying that he is going to have to really earn some reps, because this isn't 2 years ago when we didn't have Derrick Henry and Keaton was out there getting a lot of usage. He's going to have to really fight for these reps on offense.
Obviously, Keaton has done a tremendous job for us when he has been back there. So just the body type, the style of play. It took us a while to really figure out, kind of our identity and kind of who we wanted to be as a kickoff return unit. And as the season went on late in the year, those body types, those running back body types, when they're used to bouncing off tacklers, right? And so it allowed for that type of player to really have success back there. But I believe, like, a guy with some toughness, a guy that's going to run with speed, with vision. He's going to have success back there for us. But Keaton, man, he's done a heck of a job, and it's really good to see him out here, man, just rolling.
Well, it's great to see him back because I think last year when he came back, he still, in his own mind, I think he wanted to be ready. You'd have to ask him whether he felt that way, was confident in that. And when you don't practice for such a long time, I'm excited to see him every day out here, and I'm excited to see him when we play in the preseason because he's got to fight to get touches. 2 years ago, we didn't have Derek. I mean, let's just say it like it is. Like it's a fight to get touches in the backfield. Justice Hill's an established, outstanding football player. Now we got Derek. So that third running back position is fighting for reps, fighting for touches, fighting for the ability to be really good as a pass protector, all of that above, special teams player, just because we're in a different place than we were a year ago. But it's exciting to see him really kind of be up to speed in the first 4 days.
The kicking competition continued today. Tyler Loop and John Hoyland both kicked today. Loop was 7 for 7. His longest field goal was 42. Hoyland was 3 for 4. He missed wide right from 42. Tyler Loop's been perfect for all of training camp. He had a couple up and down days in OTAs, but is putting it all together right now, and definitely I think is in the lead. We drafted him, and he's also kicking better right now. So we'll see how this plays out. Chris Horton spoke on the kicking competition. He said both kickers are going to kick in the preseason and be rotating, and he wants a clear winner.
Obviously, going into, you just let the guys that go out and they compete and they work and they get better every day. And I think the idea is what Randy has these guys doing is going to prepare them for the game. And when the winner shows, it's going to show, right? And it ain't going to be, how soon is that going to be? I don't know, but I do know that these guys are going to be out here getting valuable work every day and in these preseason games. And when it's showing and when it happens, whoever wins that job is going to be the guy that's right for the team.
The Ravens have 5 more pre-snap penalties today, which continues to be kind of a common theme early in training camp is false starts, pre-snap penalties. Todd Monken spoke on this today. He spoke on this a month or two ago, too, when he spoke to the media and said that they're working on different cadences, and he doesn't understand why the Ravens can't be elite at cadence.
We're starting back up again, and it's hot. And we got a number of guys going in the game. Sometimes it's the quarterback that, he takes a little bit of time at the line of scrimmage, more than he should, and then all of a sudden you're making calls at the line and you may forget you're on a different cadence. It's all of those things are a part of it, and but I'm not going to give in. We're going to fight like heck to be good at. Why can't we be elite at cadence? Why can't we? If other teams can, we sure as heck can be and should be.
Zach Orr spoke to the media and talked about the Ravens getting back to being that feared defense and also being a defense that causes turnovers. He talked about how important that is, especially in big moments, and that they're getting back to teaching how to get turnovers and really dissecting, how can we become a defense that gets a lot more turnovers, especially in the playoffs, because we didn't have any turnovers last year. And that Buffalo game would have been a lot different if the Ravens defense was also getting some turnovers. Obviously, no excuse for the offense to have 3 turnovers either, but when the defense gets 0, it really puts you in a bad position. So I think it's a huge importance this year and moving forward just for the Ravens defense to start getting a lot more turnovers. And with how much talent they have, with Zach Orr being in his second year, I really don't see why that can't happen this year. I think the Ravens defense is definitely going to get more turnovers. But here's Zach Orr talking about getting back to being a feared defense and creating more turnovers.
We don't think the Steelers fear our defense anymore. We don't think the Bengals fear our defense anymore. What's your reaction when you hear that, and why? How do you change it?
I like that, man. Like, we want to be the most feared unit in the league, and it's time for us to get back to people being scared of playing us, and that's what we want to feel when we out there. Obviously, he's out there. We trust him. He feels that way. I feel that way too. So that's one of our goals this year is to be the most dominant feared defense in the National Football League. So let's go do it. And it's not just going to happen by us talking about it. We got to come out here, put the work in, and then when Sunday or game day comes, we got to go do it.
Back along those lines, Armin also said creating turnovers has been probably the biggest point of emphasis. I think maybe 6 teams have fewer than you guys did last year.
Yep.
There's a whole bunch of things that go into it, but from your standpoint, how do you go about sort of coaching that and working? Cordell and Steve, sort of look to stress to
First thing, man, we just teach it, man. We getting better at teaching it, teaching in the classroom, showing opportunities on film, showing how to get the football out, understanding how important it is. And I think Coach Harbaugh has done a great job this spring of talking about what's the impactfuls that impact the football games. And takeaways for a defense is at the top of the list. And when we take the ball away, we'll win. When we don't, we got a good chance of winning, but why put ourselves in that position? So obviously we look at it last year. We didn't take the ball away enough. We had 0 takeaways in the playoffs, and us as defensive coaches and players, we look at it. That's the reason why we didn't get to where we wanted to get to. So we're talking about it every single day. We're teaching it. We're drilling it. And we're making our guys aware of how important it is. And, it's not just me talking about it. It's every coach is talking about it, even on the offensive side of the ball. So I think that it's good that our players are mindful of it, and we understand as a defense that's the most important thing. Just think about it. If we take the football away and we keep giving our offense and LJ more opportunities to score, we'll be in good shape.
That's pretty much it from day 4 of Ravens camp. We have no practice tomorrow, and then the pads come on Monday, man. So that is going to be very exciting. Watch the offensive line, defensive line, pass rushers. I'm excited to see Mike Green with some pads on, Adafe Owe with the weight gain. We're gonna see it ramp up quite a bit. So excited for Monday. No practice tomorrow, but been a cool 4 days, man. I'm so glad football's back. It's exciting to see everyone out there and just hear what's going on day to day. And appreciate you guys for supporting the channel and tuning into these episodes. It means the world. And let me know what you guys are thinking about everything. As always, appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And I'll let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. The flock rundown. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.